Hey, Ravens, how's it going? How is your Sunday? I hope it's good. Mine is really good because I get to hang out with these amazing, awesome people. Hi, my name is Puppet Master, and this is our second Writer's Roost. And yeah, we're just hanging out with these cool cats and talking about some cool games. So, Emmy, do you want to start? Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do here at Game Raven, and then tell us a little quirky fact about yourself. No pressure.
Okay. I'm Emmy, or on Twitch, Emerald Rays, and for Game Raven, I stream indie games, and I'm also our editor. And a quirky fact about me, uh, you caught me off guard with that,
I
to be
did.
honest.
I know I did. I meant to. Icebreaker, you know?
Yeah. Um, One of my favorite drinks is a Moscow Mule.
Oh,
How's that?
whoa. Awesome. I like
Okay.
how you said one of your favorite drinks.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Taz, you're up.
Okie dokie. Hello everyone. My name is Taz. Taz T Devil 3 on Twitch. I'm a variety streamer, and I'm also a writer as well as the kind of streamer head person, tech person of Game Raven. A quirky fact about myself is that my very first what would you call it? My very first Let's Play, if you will, was recorded on a kind of an old school tape recorder on my stool facing a TV with me in the background swearing as like a little 11-year-old, which I still need to recover. So I've been doing this for a while, but
Oh
not
my gosh.
legitimately though.
It's adorable.
I really hope you find that.
It's somewhere.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh. All right, Al. Only one quirky fact, okay? Just one.
Quirky fact,
Yes.
when I was born, I was so quiet, the doctors thought I was dead.
Oh, wow. You
That's a
didn't
good one.
cry at all?
Nope, I was silent.
Oh my gosh. That is quirky and weird. Okay, who are you and what do you do here?
Uh,
Now that we know that you were a weird baby.
I'm Al. I like to say I stream, but I don't really. I just write reviews, play games, have a good time.
Nice. Yes.
Nothing else.
Yeah. Al's kind of a rock star around here. He does a lot of writing for us. So thank you so much, Al. You're awesome. Speaking of which, why don't we just jump on in? Al, you wanna tell us a little? Oh, yes, I did introduce myself, right? Okay, yes, I did. Yeah, tell us a little bit. Let's start with Princess Castle Quest. So just give us a small idea of what this game is, and then I have a trailer that we can watch too. So go for it.
Princess Castle Quest is a rage-inducing puzzle adventure game. It's literally just screen after screen of puzzle after puzzle, and it's a great time. Developed by Piggy Bank Studios, and I recently learned that it's actually the spiritual successor of Princess Dungeon Smasher, a game that was made while the developer and I think his brother, if I recall, were in high school, and so it's a fun little game.
Al, can you tell us a little bit about this developer? Like, where are they? Who are they? And yeah.
So all the digging I did was actually from the video or the interview that had already been done with them. So anyone in the audience, go check that out. Developed by Taylor Robbins. He's like the primary programmer and lead director of of this whole game. The other guy gentleman in the interview is Devin Lawless. He calls himself the idea guy. Very cool. Yeah, I honestly wish I could have retained more information, but it's been a hell of a week, so I don't got too much else. But the interview was good. Some cool cats.
Yeah. Emmy, do you want to say anything? Because you were on that interview with me, with them.
Yeah, I mean, the developers were really cool for one.
Yeah.
I had a great time talking to them. One of the favorite things I think that they said was just about how encouraging it is to have people playing the game and all of that, and how much they appreciated that time, because I think that that's our goal here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that was really fun getting to know them. They're really young.
Yeah.
Which is also cool. And they're from Seattle, which is also cool for us too, because we're kind of based here in Seattle. It's nice to see another Pacific Northwest developer. Yeah. So Al, you're writing a full review of this, so I'm gonna kind of like direct most of my questions toward you, if that's cool.
Yep.
Tell us about the graphics. What's going on here?
So as you could tell from the trailer, the graphics are very like minimalist pixel. I kind of like it, nice and simple. It doesn't take away from the point of the game. You know, even though it is like puzzle heavy, you can still tell what's what. You know, there's animals that follow you around. There's actually they make it very clear what are animals that you can interact with. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, honestly, if I could put a number to it, it'd be an 8 out of 10.
Nice for the graphics, yeah.
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 It was one time I thought I was pushing around fluffs of like cotton. Turns out they were sheep. I just didn't notice that.
You're just
and
like
then,
pushing around sheep.
Yep, part of the puzzle. You just push sheep around.
That's adorable.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Oh. Yeah. And it looks like it's mostly like all pixel art, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah,
That's
in
so
the beginning,
cool.
there's a cutscene that's a little more well defined. You know, there's finer art there, but as soon as you get into the game, it's all the same. Nothing too jarring or nothing that breaks immersion, really, which I
Yeah.
also appreciate, especially in like puzzle adventure games. Immersion is pretty huge for me, at least.
Yeah, so having like a constant medium of the graphics kind of helped with the immersion and everything. Yeah, that's cool. Are there cutscenes, and can you tell me about like what's the story? What happens with the story?
So cutscenes there's only like one initial cutscene, I guess. It's like a couple minutes long. Pretty much breaks down the story of you are a spoiled princess. It's some birthday or party that you're throwing, and you rack up a bill, and your dad gets pissed. So like, all right, go collect some diamonds. Just get out of here and go into a dangerous world full of skeletons and lasers and like floors of lava. Just go get some diamonds.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yep, very
Oh
boot.
my god. I've heard that before. Wow. Oh, cat!
He's hungry.
He's hungry. Oh. Cat attack.
Yeah. For some people, that amount of story could either be perfect or, very terrible. But I like it. It's a puzzle game, so don't throw cutscenes in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, kind of focus on that. And it looks like you can, so for like the gameplay, I noticed that you can build your own like levels.
Yeah, you can. I've tried dinking around with it a little bit. I'm not creative at all. It took way too long to try figuring it out. I encourage those who like building levels and not quite like Mario Maker, but it's fun. Put your friends through the ringer.
Yeah, you can like send them to your friends. And Emmy, they actually talked about that in our interview with them, how they would have
Yeah.
like competitions and stuff.
Yeah, they have competitions between everybody, I think. You can actually go onto their Twitter and submit them, I believe.
Yeah. I think they actually mentioned their Discord as well.
Discord, yeah.
I wonder if I could find it. But yeah, I thought that was really fun. I hope that they have like events and stuff where you can like challenge
Yeah.
each other.
And they seemed really excited about people sending them new levels.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I remember them talking about how people have specific styles when they create the levels. So when they're only playing each other's, it can get a little bit too easy because they're used to how each other make the puzzles. So when they get sent new ones, it's exciting because then they get to try something else.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love that part of games because when I was younger, I used to play Age of Empires, and in Age of Empires, you can create your own levels, and I used to have so much fun doing that. So when I saw that you could create your own levels in this one, I'm like, oh, it brings me back to the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and like, I don't know, all the level builders, like I'm all about. Bro Tuzak said he just ordered so much pizza.
Oh,
Can you
I'm
order
jealous.
us so much pizza, Bro Tuzak? That would be great. Oh, hey Sam, welcome. Sorry, I'm just noticing the chat because I was so caught up in what we're talking about. Welcome everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here for our second Writer's Roost. This one's much more chill than the last one. Yeah, so the music. Let's talk about the music for a second. What was the music like for you? And did it help? Did it hurt? What do you think, Al?
Personally, I think the music was great. A lot of little funky tunes and different ambient music for select levels that you can find that were very surprising when I stumbled across them. It's so good that I actually lost a couple hours playing the game. So it's very, very immersive.
Yeah.
It's very video game music to where you get honed in and focused. And they really hit the nail on the head with the music.
Yeah. Emmy, tell us about the sound effects.
The sound effects were my favorite part of that whole game. So the devs went in and they just wanted placeholder sounds. So until they got actual sampled noises for things. And so they just made all the sounds with their mouth. So it was like spoken noises, like opening the chest and like when they're walking, and it is absolutely fantastic. And I know that they were just placeholders, but I'm super hoping they keep a bunch of those in there because they make it so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I saw you stream it the first time, that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait, all of these sounds are like from their mouths. This is amazing.
Just mouth noises. It's great.
Al, did you have any like favorite character? I know this is like not really as story driven, but were you drawn to any of the characters, or did you like dislike any of the characters, or how did you feel about them?
Well, I felt very conflicted about playing a spoiled princess, but you know, I got over that pretty quickly.
I thought you'd be used to it.
Let's see. Yeah, there's not really any character development or like nothing that builds on any characters, but there is one particular loyal dog that whether you bring him traits or not, he's there waiting for you, and you can pet him.
Oh, I love the dogs.
Yep.
It makes games so much better when there's animals. I love it.
Yeah, I looked around, tried to see if there's any functionality or mechanical benefit to it. Nope, they just appreciate it. You bring him a treat and pet him.
Nice. It's just a dog, just hanging out. That's awesome. Emmy, aside from the sounds, what was your favorite part of this game?
I liked how challenging it was. I think that even the developers were saying their testers would have a hard time. So some of the levels that are more towards the end of what they've done haven't been properly tested. Cypher's in my tree.
Cat.
So yeah, I definitely appreciated that, and it helped so much that when I was streaming that they were actually in my chat, because I don't know if I could have finished all of them had they not been. And I also really liked the fact that all of their puzzles can be solved. Well, not all of them, I'm sure, but a lot of their puzzles can be solved in more than one way. So, for example, there was one of the ones that I did, and they said that they had never done it that way before. So I think that it's cool that it's kind of multi-dimensional in that way.
Wow, he's really liking that tree.
Just really quick, speaking of multi-dimensional, one useful mechanic is the undo button that they have. Pretty much, just it brings you to the square that you were at before. And that really goes a long, long way in solving puzzles in a number of different ways that I thought was really cool, and that is lacking in other puzzle games that I'm usually pretty bad at. So that was a good one.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it 2-player or is it just 1-player?
2.
Oh, it's 2-player. Ooh, that's cool. So you can
Yeah.
go through the puzzles with another. Do you have to have 2 players?
No.
No, you can do it 1-player. Nice. So is there anything you didn't like about this game?
Nothing that I couldn't fix with my own ego. I like puzzles, but I'm not too good at them. I get in my own head and set in my ways. So if it doesn't work the first time I try something, I just keep trying. And yeah, the difficulty is fun, but it's a double-edged sword if you have an ego.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Emmy? Anything that you didn't like about the game?
I would say the exact same thing. I am not particularly puzzle savvy. It's not the usual type of game that I play, so it's the same. It's my favorite thing and my least favorite thing is that it is really challenging, but that's good because that's what they're going for.
Yeah. I feel that. Taz, you've been quiet. Have you played this game?
I have not played it. I think I was just experiencing the trailer actually for the first time, and then I was there for your interview with the developer of it. It gave me a lot of, just from a first time viewing standpoint, it looked a lot for those of you who are gaming for quite a bit throughout Nickelodeon or Disney Channel browser games. It kind of gave me that kind of vibe, simple puzzling, very simple kind of design. That doesn't give it any less of what the game is. It's a full-on game. It just kind of gave me that kind of vibe, and kind of nostalgia a little bit. You know what I mean? You can easily find that kind of game in you can theme that game around of any kind of Disney movie or Nickelodeon show or Cartoon Network show or things like that, which seem very similar. I love me some puzzle games. I think I liked what I saw. First of all, I was dying. I was laughing hysterically with the rat. That homeboy just got smushed, and that was not fair. That was uncool. But I liked how each level design was very, very different from each other. I liked, it creates a sense of flow. It's not the same thing over and over again. It's definitely, it keeps a variety of things going. For my first time of watching that game, so it looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, overall, Emmy and Al, would you recommend this game?
100%. I would recommend this game.
100%.
It's fantastic if you want to just play some puzzles, or if you want to honestly have some friends just watch you and make fun of you as you fail puzzles.
That's true, yeah. No, I would definitely recommend it. It was super fun to play.
Nice. So that's Princess Castle Quest, and I'll drop the link in the chat. You can access that on Steam. So, and that is out now, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it's in early access right now, but it is out and ready for all of you to enjoy. Any final thoughts, Emmy or Al?
I hope to see more bears in the later levels, but that's just a personal thing.
You and your bears, I tell ya.
That's adorable.
Yes.
I would
Okay.
just
Oh, go ahead.
I would just encourage everyone to check it out. They said that they're constantly adding stuff on there. So if you check it out, there'll be new things.
Yes, love all the new stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Alrighty, Taz. We're gonna jump into Pitch Black really quick. Oh, hey, Piggy Bank Studios. They said we could add bears. That's funny.
That's what I like to hear.
There you go.
Yes. Al is all about them bears. All right. So, Taz, tell us about Pitch Black, A Detective's Demise. This is very different. Very different.
Yes. I've always on the lookout for kind of not newer indie games, but like a different type of indie game. And these cats, Purple Jam, reached out to me on Twitter and asked me to play this game. And I was like, cool, sounds good. Purple Jam is actually a what would they be called? They're an audio studio, and so I never heard of like an audio studio making games. You know, like they're taking part in games, but completely solo making a game, creating a new game. So Pitch Black, A Detective Demise is it's a full-on audio experience. Graphics 10 out of 10 because there are none. There's no graphics. You whip out the game, you open it up, and it's just Pitch Black Detective's Demise logo on screen the entire time. And so these cats, there's only 3 people on their team. Harry Cooper, Connor Harrison, Jordan Berry, and these cats are from the UK. And they're binaural specialists. And the game is very interesting because, again, like I said, it's a very pure audio-based experience. So what that means is that you have your mouse, really all you're using is your keyboard and your headphones. Very important that you have kind of 3D audio headphones, because you hear the footsteps, you hear the conversations, you hear things happening spatially all around you. There is a combat system that incorporates, someone swinging a bat or shooting something at you. It's kind of like a slow motion type feeling. Something comes at you and you have to hear it. You have to listen to whether it's coming from your left side or your right side, and then you have to like bob and weave whichever direction. And if you get nailed, then you get nailed, and that's not fun. But it's very interesting because it's not as linear as I thought it would be going into it. You play as a detective, and you're literally walking around in a city, and interacting with new characters and just NPCs and just people telling their own stories. And it's very interesting because you can like hear yourself run into a wall, or your character will just be like, there's no point in walking into a wall right now. I should probably like turn or walk down the street or something. So there are some audio hints to it, but it's very interesting. You can get lost in this kind of audio experience. And the story is pretty much you're the detective. You're out to find her. Doesn't really say who it is. I don't want spoilers big in the story. However, it is definitely something. When I asked for, okay, I need something new, they definitely brought something new that I've never experienced before. So I highly recommend that. All right. So new game. Shit.
Pitch Black, A Detective's Demise, is the latest addition to the growing audio game genre. This means that there are no visuals in this series. All you need are your ears for this experience. To navigate, use the arrow keys to move forward, backwards, and to rotate left and right. To sprint, press and hold the shift button.
Oh man, I could have just
Enjoy
pushed
A
this.
Detective's Demise.
I'm my brain hurts
brought to
already.
you by Purple Jam.
The music's funky though.
Okay, so that was like a little bit of it. Like with the menu, how like you would hear the detective say like new game or options or whatever. Like, that was very interesting. Did you have any difficulty throughout the game, Taz?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 100% definitely did. Like I said, it was I went into it with kind of a bird's eye view, top down mentality, when it actuality, which actually caused me to struggle and go in circles a lot, because it also you have to actually go out and find what you're looking for, and trying to find something. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack when you can't see, when you're blindfolded. So it was very interesting. But the use of audio engineering and just the focus that they used to make it work, and like some of that stuff is definitely user error. You know what I mean? Like I fortunately I did find somehow, even though I couldn't see, in the options menu there is a kind of a audio compass that you can turn on or off, that you can toggle, that will allow you to, if you're going in a direction, it'll tell you which direction you're going in. So east, west, north, south, which was actually found helpful, to prevent me from going in circles. So other than not being able to see, which is part of the design, definitely user error. I thought it was just still a great, fresh experience.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the developer?
Yeah, so they actually, so like I said, there are Purple Jam Audio, binaural audio specialists. This isn't their first rodeo. This isn't their first game. Pitch Black is kind of just a series of different experiences, audio experiences. Actually, even then, they have both regular audio experiences and games alike. And they even have like a audio pong game, like ping pong, I think, but with your ears. And so Detectives Demise was their latest game. Their newest original game is a Dusk-like story that they're working on right now. They're based in the UK. And that's they're just three cats kind of doing their thing. The game is available actually on, I believe, the Google Play Store and iTunes, as well as PC. So that way you can take this experience on the go. If you're hauling a train ride, or a bus ride or something, you kind of just want to tune out, play a little audio game. There you go. So they definitely make it both like a sit down experience and a kind of like to go experience as well.
Yeah, very interesting. Wow. I've never seen anything like this before. It is definitely very interesting. Okay, so we know that you're a detective. Can you tell us a little bit more about the story and the characters? And did you find yourself connecting with any of the characters or disliking any of them?
I think so far I haven't been able to get how do I put this? It's definitely your detective, very noir. Homeboy likes to keep, ride solo. You know what I mean? Very that kind of stereotype, that kind of trope, which is pretty sick. So he's just out to find a girl who's been kidnapped. He's hired to find a girl who's been kidnapped. What's interesting though is the range of characters, the range of NPCs. I kind of imagine this game to, if you, it's kind of like not like a post-apocalyptic, but definitely kind of has its edge. Very like a synthwave or cyberpunk, or very just kind of steampunk, futuristic type scenario. Not like your modern day, kind of like a tech wave type situation. Very very much so. I can hear inspirations from Blade Runner type situation. Think of that kind of setting. But the range of characters, your character isn't based in some kind of top-notch high-end city part, with a rich kind of hangout. He's definitely in kind of the slums, just because there's more crime there, based on the economic state. So you hear a lot of different interactions. You hear people like when you're walking. I ended up walking through a market, and people were trying to sell me all types of stuff, and the way they sounded was very like desperate, like sad, or like groggy sounding. You know what I mean? Very huge range in voice acting. And like some of the bad guys had very like specific voice types. Very like, if you think of a cartoon and little bad guy has like a high pitched kind of screeching voice, kind of annoying, kind of like a rat. You know, that way you can identify, you know, homeboy's really mad at you and he wants to hit you. But I think, you know, as a detective, I really kind of felt kind of just as immersed in that as possible. Could like, you know, we play a lot of first person games, a lot AAA games, indie games, very first person esque. We see through it as a character, but rarely do we just like be in the mind of a character. And you can do that very easily when you eliminate a sense and you only have one, you know what I mean? So being able to have that really created an immersion I've never really experienced. So getting attached to the detective was very, very important because I want to know, because like the little trailer said, we don't really know who the detective really is. He's just some guy, but he has a background, you know, but we want to figure that out as well.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about like being able to get more into a character or experience something even more because like one of your senses is taken away. That's super fascinating to me. Yeah. So, what did you enjoy most about this game?
What did I enjoy most about this game? I think it's just the overall experience. You know, we're hyping it up to be, and it very much in our, you know, very rightly so, to be a very brand new gaming experience. It is a game, and we find out that you don't have to have visuals in order to create a game. You know what I mean? Like I said, graphics are 10 out of 10, but it's definitely just kind of experiencing something new and fresh. And also I think to specifically answer how well they did with the audio, because we're describing their Purple Jam and stuff. These guys aren't amateurs, you know what I mean? They know their stuff when it comes to putting on a headset and listening to something, and they really did well to create that experience. And it is helpful if you have, you know, it's headphones, highly recommended. But just to experience that, a new fresh game concept was very enjoyable.
Is there anything you didn't like about the game?
I didn't like not seeing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I wasn't and it's just design, like I mentioned, it's definitely user error. I wasn't a huge fan of I think that they should have made the audio compass cue on by default, because I had to find that in the options menu.
Oh shoot.
And, which then caused like half the stream to kind of me going in circles and have no idea where I'm going. But with the help of the compass, I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually going in a direction. So I think having the compass on by default would have been helpful. But since it was off, I couldn't really do anything about it until I found it. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. T Bubbles in our chat says, well, it's normal for some people. I wonder what kind of experience it is for the blind. Yeah, like people who are more, yeah. I mean, that's how they navigate the world and everything. So it's super cool to have a game that, yeah, you kind of experience it through their ears. And that's just, it's so different, and it uses such different parts of your brain to navigate and understand maps and everything, and have to like visually create that in your mind as you go on. It's super interesting. So would you recommend this game?
Oh, absolutely. If you're kind of looking for something fresh, looking for something interesting, maybe even a challenge, highly recommend this game. It is only I believe $4 on their website, so highly recommend if you have the $4 to spare. Yeah, get ready for a challenge, but it definitely is something I would recommend.
We're gonna move on to our next game, and that is a Decay in Us. So Al, you're back up again as our writer. You're writing an editorial for this, or no, I'm sorry, you're writing a full review for this one. It's a very short little game.
Yes, very short.
Tell us about it.
All right. It's a very short game. It's a zombie survival game where you are just getting from point A to point B. You have very little by means of tools and area to work with, and it's actually kind of scary, which is kind of hard to find nowadays, even in indie games, or not even in like AAA games that are survival horror or claim to be horror. It's, I don't want to say perfect because it's not, but it's a gem of a game for sure.
It's amazing, just in watching the little bit of the trailer, like how the developer used such simple things to create such a eerie, creepy environment. Like it's just so amazing. And Emmy and Taz, you guys got to interview her actually. Can you tell us a little bit about the developer?
Yeah. She actually made this game in just a couple months, she said. And she lives in Hawaii, and she's studying to go for cybersecurity. So she's got a lot of stuff going on right now, and she still whipped this thing up, and the quality of it really amazed me with how quickly she got through it. I was really impressed with all of that.
Yeah, and she's young too. How old is she?
Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure. Early 20s.
Early 20s. Yeah, young. Really young, still in school. So amazing. Taz, what was your impression of her too?
She was dope. She knew exactly what she was talking about. Solo dev, but she was very confident in what she was creating, and has a lot of support with friends and things like that. And she's had some like good feedback about the game, and she was very kind because when I was sent the game, I asked kind of before I streamed it what kind of things that she'd be looking out for, and she kind of gave me the rundown of things that she needed work on that hasn't been updated yet. So that was like super kind of like, hey, these are the things that you might run into, which that was the first time I've experienced that with somebody like letting me know. I encountered them, and if anything, it made the game like the stream like more fun. But no, yeah, she's a cool cat. She's dope.
Yeah. So Al, can you just tell me about the story of this game? It's small, but what's the premise?
So the premise and story of the game is not a unique one, but it's still done very well with the little amount of time that Michelle had to work with. Your story is you are Mila, and you are trying to get from point A to point B. It's you're out in a zombie infested world, and you're trying to get to the safe house. You can do with that as much or as little as you want. I had fun filling in the empty spaces with my own weird little headcanon just to just to make it more entertaining for my wife who watched me play the game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it looks like she's actually in the chat. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kia. Hey, how are you? It's so good to see you here with us. I remember at the end of our interview, or your interview with her, we were like doing hashtag Michelle 2024 because we really think that she's gonna rule the world. She's an amazing individual, so it's really good to see you. We are so good. We are so good. We love that yes, hashtag Michelle 2024. 2024. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's been a long day.
It feels like.
Yeah, so long. And Sarah, another writer of ours, is here. Hi, Ravens. It's so good to see you guys. Yeah, so I remember talking to her a little bit about the story. Taz and Emmy, do you guys remember talking to her about the story and her development, possible development of the story further on?
I recall her character design for the protagonist was very unique, and a lot of people that she kind of presented it to love the crap out of the protagonist and how they want more backstory. Al, I did this kind of the same thing that you did of kind of like filling in some gaps, headcanon wise, of the potential greatness of this protagonist, because very unique character design, and how she did want to kind of add more in-depth layers to her.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was just like the beginning of something too. Emerald, do you have anything else to say about future, stuff about the game?
I do remember Michelle saying that she had only intended it to be that one level, but that if people liked it, then she would make more if it was demanded of her. So it looks like it's been demanded. So maybe we'll see that.
Yes, I hope so, for sure. Al, tell us about the graphics of this game.
Graphics, again, I don't want to say minimalist. It's a 2D platformer, so there's only so much you can do with that. I really do like the pixel art. I'm a huge fan of pixel art, and the way that the pixel art is done is very clear for that minimalist style. It's very, the backgrounds, you understand where you are, you're not lost at any point. It just makes sense. A lot of the graphics blend together very well. Things are overgrown. You can tell that there's foliage, that buildings have been abandoned. It's so good. The zombies look like zombies, and
Well, that's
great. Yeah, it's not so cartoonish that it like breaks immersion though,
Right.
which is nice, because there's some zombies in some games that a little over the top.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Tell us about the sound.
The sound is honestly what got me most excited for the game in the first place. Actually, if I recall from the interview, all the music and sound is royalty free. So having to look for royalty free music, it definitely adds a level of challenge to bringing a game to life. But it sets the tone, and it brings you in very quickly. There isn't any jump scare noises or things you need to worry about. There's just a really great ambient rain and thunder sound in the background, and it stops when you're under some parts of buildings to add to that believability, and it makes the world seem a little bigger and more involved. And you need to depend on sound, because sometimes all you hear before you die is a nasty sound of a growling zombie looking to munch on you.
Yes, and I remember the shotgun sound for me was it really stood out. It was there was just something about it that was so immersive. Just that one shotgun sound.
Yeah, in a world of general silence, that one loud shotgun sound really cuts through everything.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience.
So gameplay, tell me about the shotgun.
Your best friend and worst enemy. I honestly think that the shotgun and lighter you have count as characters in and of themselves just because they're mechanics. Shotgun is great to kill zombies in 2 hits. It's nice, but oh boy, does it slow you down. It adds a really nice challenge, and I was trying to hold off on saying this for as long as possible, but Michelle mentioned that she was inspired by Dark Souls and that difficulty in that gameplay. So the general gameplay difficulty of it lent itself to that level of difficulty. There's puzzle, just go collect the keys, but it's a dangerous world, and you got to be careful and strategic, where in some other games you might be able to just action hero your way through.
Yeah. So Taz, what did you enjoy most about this game?
What I enjoyed, difficulty. Al, you mentioned it was Dark Souls, and she mentioned that it was Dark Souls inspired to her. So having that, the shotgun being your best friend, worst enemy. If you shoot a zombie too close to you for your first shot at them, you're gonna die. RIP, F and then shout. It's nightmare. But it makes it a challenge. Every time you die, you're just like, okay, I got this, and you have to collect 5 keys for one door, so that's fantastic.
That's quite
so
a
just
door.
kinda- yeah, right. It's so so it's a fun, good experience. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Al, what did you like least about this game?
It's really hard to say because I genuinely enjoyed this game. There was only trying to be fair about this. With the way some of the one of the bugs worked, I think, where the zombie could, I think there's a zombie that could push around one of the garbage cans that normally they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
If you get stuck, or like if it bugs out in just the wrong way, you could be 1 key away and you can't do anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was a little sucky, but that happened 1 out of like the 50 some odd times I died. I'm not gonna-
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, and the fact that the one thing you don't like about this game is a little bug that actually wasn't supposed to happen anyway. That's doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I easily got like 3.5 hours of enjoyment out of this game. And
Wow.
it was good.
Very cool. Kiahe says, I'm open to all criticism. Yay! Yeah, I mean, hey, we're Game Raven, we're a review site, so I mean, we talk about it all. I have to say, what I like least about this game is that there's not enough. I want more. I want to know more, I want a 3D version, I want more. So I'm hoping that this is the beginning of something. Just because she seemed to be so masterful when it came to just using what she had and creating such an amazing environment. So, Emerald, have you played this game? Have you had any experience with it yet?
Haven't played it. I haven't.
Yes.
But it looks like something that I would be really bad at.
Yes.
Really challenging. I did watch a little bit of it, and I think that the thing that stuck out to me most about it was actually the art, the graphics. I like the pixel art in it, and I feel like it's also a bit unique. It's not the typical type of 8-bit, that you see in other games that are made on like RPG Maker, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also remember she was talking about the gameplay around having the lighter
Mm-hmm.
and kind of using it strategically when you're playing, and that some people, when they had played it previously, they didn't know to use it really, and so it was a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that she put like different lighting mechanics in there that matter.
Yeah. Frankie, Taz. I remember when you were playing this game that you used the lighter like all the time. And can you use the lighter and the shotgun at the same time?
I think so, because my strategy, it's all about strategy. My strategy was to murk all the zombies before I did anything. So, and using she said
Nope.
you cannot use both. So I used it to gather all the zombies together in one spot and then kind of run away and blast, so that I can actually move, because you're jumping around balconies, and sometimes zombies, there's no invisible wall. They can just, if they detect you, they'll just jump off the balcony and air assassinate you, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So you gotta be yeah.
Air assassination by zombie.
Yeah, it sucks.
I love it so much. So I'm gonna ask all three of you, starting with Emmy. Would you recommend this game?
From what I've seen and from what I've heard and from what Michelle has said, I would definitely recommend it. I should recommend it to myself and actually play it.
Yes, do it.
I'll have to do that soon.
Taz?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely recommend.
Al?
I have to go with the crowd here and 100% recommend. It's a short game, but throw some friends in, and a little bit of that couch madness when all the restrictions lift, and it's a great time.
So it's available now. You can check it out on itch.io. Yeah, go see it. That was a Decay in us. We are to our last game of our Roost. Emmy, tell us about Shrine's Legacy.
Yeah. Shrine's Legacy is your classic RPG story game. It's really story heavy. And sorry, I'm like pulling up my notes here.
It's all good. T sorry. T said,
Yeah.
I think the cat recommends people play it. It must be
The
all of
cat.
our cats at this point.
The cat.
Because I did definitely see Khaleesi run behind Taz at some point. So, and also, Al, I have to know, this little dinosaur behind you, he looks like he really knows games. So what does he think?
Yes, that is my son. That's little Godzilla.
It's your son.
Definitely recommends.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
All right, ready, Emmy?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
So at the beginning, there's a little cutscene and it tells you who you are. Basically, it tells the story, and it's Shrines because the main character's last name is Shrine,
Oh.
and it kind of gave me some Zelda vibes because at the beginning it talks about how this evil being, Ackler, invades the Ardemia, which is the city place that you're in, and Kaylee's Shrine is who slays him, and then hundreds of years pass, and she had slain him with the shrine sword. So when you actually start playing the game, you play as a descendant of Kaylee's Shrine. So the shrine sword was passed down through your family for centuries, and then Ackler might come back. So you get told the story from your parents about the legend of Ackler and how your ancestor slayed him, and then he ends up coming back, and so you have to slay him again, which definitely made me think of Zelda. So I thought that was super cool. The game is made by two developers, Alan Gabbard and Joseph Duke, and they currently have the demo out. Yes, we will share the link to the free demo in a minute.
Yay! By the way, welcome, Alan. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah. So they're just independent video game developers. They're specializing in the retro fantasy RPG games and working on Shrine's Legacy. They also have a Kickstarter, which I think I sent the link to you for that they are opening up, and you can get the free demo, but the game isn't releasing until the beginning of 2023. It's really well put together, so I can see why it would take a little bit of time. They have pretty challenging boss battles in there too. You fight some pretty scary things. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to ruin the surprise. One of my favorite things about it, though, was the different NPCs. They have some really quirky characters in there. There's a crazy grandma. There's Luchador Mafia. It's really interesting. Yes.
I know you said a little bit about the characters, but I noticed, is the protagonist female?
There's actually two. So you play as Rio and Rima, Rio is the descendant of the shrine legacy, and then Rima is somebody who comes to steal your sword because she finds out that Ackler is invading and has slain everyone in her town. So she comes down, and then they kind of team up to defeat Big Scary Ackler. And you can switch in between the characters freely. It's also co-op, so you can play with another person too.
Whoa, that's awesome. I love the co-op element in the game,
Yeah.
and that you can like switch between the characters. That's super interesting. Tell us about the graphics.
The graphics actually remind me a lot of Stardew Valley. The pixel art that they have is really similar. They did a lot of really cool things. There's a lot of color in it. As far as the enemies, mostly the monsters. There's some scary slimes that are different colors, and they really were able to kind of maximize the difference in the kinds of them and things just by changing the like configuration of it, I guess.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm a little bit. Oh, look at another cat. Another cat attack. So I'm just catching up with the chat.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about some of the NPCs, and I noticed too in the who's this luchador mafia? Like what is going on there? Can you tell us anything about that, or will it be too much spoiler?
I didn't get too far into that. I met them though. It's these 4 guys that you walk into a bar and they're all standing around in luchador masks, and then they threaten you. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, they say they're gonna teach you a lesson.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
So this is a pretty long demo then.
Yeah, I didn't get through the whole thing. I had about an hour and a half of gameplay into it and still didn't get to the end of the demo.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I love super long demos like that to give you a lot of the game so you can kind of like get your brain around it. So Alan said that the sprites were they were inspired by Stardew Valley. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's funny. Sorry, I'm like reading all of the stuff. I'm so happy that you're here, Alan, that you're giving us all this information. So if you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and give a shout out to Alan here in the chat. He's giving us all kinds of great stuff. So it sounds like this is a really like complex story. There's a lot of really great characters that happen. What is the gameplay like?
Yeah. It's a really detailed game. It's more of like a hack and slash, but also the one thing about your sword that you have to do is you have to collect all of the different elemental gemstones to restore it. And so you hack and slash with the sword, but then as you collect the gems, you also get more spells to use, like freezing or fire, what have you. And Rio and Rima can both use that, I think. I played the whole demo as Rio, so I'm not sure. I know that at the beginning, Rima isn't able to use the sword, so I'm not sure. Maybe Alan can tell us. But yeah, the gameplay is free roam through the scenario there, and then there's little towns in between, and you can talk to all the NPCs. There's a really cute I didn't get the updated demo. No, I played it before that. They have a mail delivery service that is run by little animals, and it's adorable.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One thing that actually surprised me about it, when you walk to the edge of the water, you can actually get into the water, which is something I didn't expect. And it was just like a weird little detail that games like this don't usually have. It's usually you're blocked by the river.
Yeah.
And there's little secret treasures that you can find if you go in the water. And also it has side quests and mini games, which I thought was cool. Just the level of detail that went into the demo really surprised me.
Wow. That's
Typically
awesome.
games like this don't have little side quests and things.
Especially in the demo too.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty incredible. Alan said Rima doesn't use a sword of shrine, but she can use the same magic that Rio can use through the sword. Oh,
Cool. Okay.
she uses a magic staff.
There we go. Thank
Very
you.
Cool. Yes. What was the sound quality and the music like?
Sound quality is great. Everything sounds like top notch. I would say as far as the music goes, it's very classic RPG, very Zelda-y, Final Fantasy type of thing. And I really liked it. It's calming for the most part, which was cool.
Nice.
And that changes depending on where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say was your favorite part of this game?
My favorite part is the storyline. I think the storyline is going to be really good, and it was one where I was excited to keep going, excited to continue playing, and you run into all these crazy characters and then you want to know more. Like it really it's really immersive. Yeah.
Nice. Anything you liked least about it?
I mean, it was a bit challenging, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I was still able to beat the bosses, so I think that it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything that I didn't like about it, honestly. They really took their time to make sure that everything was top notch.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'm really excited to play this one. This
Yes.
sounds like totally up my alley, for sure. For sure. So, would you recommend this game?
I would definitely recommend this game. I think that everyone should go download the free demo right now and check it out.
Awesome. Yay. Okay, so Alan put the free demo link in the chat somewhere. Alan, if you want to drop that link one more time for us in the chat, that would be awesome. And yeah, go check out that game. That was Shrine's Legacy. Okay, so Alan said, always happy when people don't expect the swimming. And so many people have different things they like most about the game. Sometimes it's the story, sometimes it's the gameplay, sometimes music, etc. And very happy there isn't much you didn't like. So that's good. Very exciting. I'm excited to play this one. Is there a release date set?
The release date that they have for Steam is Q1 2023.
Okay, so we got a little while, but hey, the demo sounds like it's pretty robust, so we have a lot to keep us busy until the release. Oh, thank you. So Alan just dropped that free demo link right there. So
Yes.
there you
Play with
have
friends.
it. Yes, play with friends. And it's fun solo too, is what they said. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for hanging out and telling us about these games on a Sunday afternoon for our second Roost. It's
Yeah, that
been
was
fun.
fun.
Super
Yeah.
fun.
It was a
So
good time.
check us out, GameRavenReview.com. You can see all kinds of different reviews and stuff. And again, this is Al below me. That's Al. Wave for us, Al. He's one of our writers. He's wonderful. That's Taz. Ooh, over there, not in my... Do you want to do a little plug for us, Taz, for yourself?
Yeah, sure. I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, weekdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesdays, Two-Player Tuesday, Wednesday is my dedicated Indie Wednesday, Thursdays, it's random nowadays. Last week we cooked, and Saturday is Spooky Saturday. Please feel free to find me at TazTDevil3.
Yes. And Emmy.
That's me.
That's you.
I stream on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 9. Tuesday is my indie day for Game Raven, and then Thursdays, sometimes I do collabs, and sometimes we blend cake, and sometimes we play Jackbox. So tune in, say hello. I'd love to play games with everyone.
Yay! All right, and I'm Puppet Master, and I'm also here on Twitch. So, yeah, thanks again for joining us, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful Sunday evening, and we'll see you next week, next Sunday, for our next indie dev interview with Shrine's Legacy devs. So, until then, stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, be safe. Have a great rest of your week.